Hey everybody, I'm here in my Teddy Jams, and yes, this is an episode of Pajama Chronicles. It's been a rough week with everything going on with the Jussie Smollette case, and it's opened up our eyes, and it's also taught me quite a few things that I've been thinking about. The first thing that happened was after Smollette was arrested, I posted a series of things about my disappointment, my anger for real victims that might now not be believed because if this is true, I mean, this sets back victims. And there are lawyers out there, black lawyers, who have clients that are filing civil rights lawsuits. And he said, this hurts us because now my clients are going to be looked at as possible suspects instead of victims. But it goes deeper than that because Jussie Smollette is a celebrity. Okay? And I'm going to get into that in a bit. But first, I want to say he's a celebrity. And some people are going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And even if he comes out and says he did this and he's sorry, they're going to give him a pass. Not because he's black, not because he's gay, because he's a celebrity. Now, they didn't give Liam Neeson a pass, and they didn't give Roseanne Barr a pass. And this is why I'm mentioning this, because Roseanne Barr especially. One of my viewers who is black wrote to me and said, I'm ashamed to be black because of what Jussie Smollette is accused of doing. It makes me ashamed. Please don't be ashamed. I've heard people say, I'm never going to watch Empire again. Don't do that. Don't punish an entire show. Don't paint with this broad brush. Most black people are good people. They're not criminals. Just like most police officers are good police officers. Just because we have a Mark Furman or we have some of these cops who have shot first and asked questions later and committed crimes, that doesn't mean all police officers should be painted with that big broad brush. And yet we do. People say, I don't trust the police. Well, you know what? You should trust the police because 95% of them are good, decent people doing their jobs. 95, 98% of black people are good, hardworking, decent people who you should be proud to call your friend. Please don't be ashamed to be black because of Jussie Smollette. My God, don't let him have that kind of power. You didn't do anything wrong. You did not commit a crime. You cannot take on Jussie Smollette's crime. The same with gay people, the gay community. Don't make him your poster child. Don't let other people say, well, he's gay, so all gay people must be like that. Don't let anybody say that. Think about the hundreds of people who work on Empire. Don't put them out of work. They didn't do anything wrong. They don't deserve to lose their jobs or their careers. Don't let Jussie Smollette, one person and his actions, destroy any more lives than he already has. Okay? And let's talk about this in the context of hate crime. And I was thinking about this a lot, and I'm thinking celebrity and hate. And perhaps Jussie Smollette actually is a victim of a hate crime. Hate against himself. Now, it can go two ways. Either he was hating himself so much, or he pumped himself up too much. The other side of that, of course, is narcissism, that he was better than the way he was being treated by Fox, by the Empire crew, by the people who paid him. Celebrity today is they get up to a certain point, and the only place they have left to go is down. And when they start going down, some of them do lose their minds. White, black, it doesn't matter. Okay? So perhaps Jussie Smollette is the victim of his own making. He saw his Instagram numbers come down. Look, I have a YouTube channel, and I have my pages here on Facebook. And I was so excited when I hit 300 YouTube subscribers, and now I'm at almost 400 YouTube subscribers, and that's awesome. But if all of a sudden my number goes down, I'm not going to lose my mind about it. But these celebrities, if they lose a couple Instagram subscribers or people aren't responding to their tweets, they lose their minds. They think they're failing. And they got to do something to pick it up. Something sometimes that is drastic. And I think it's very sad. You want to talk about narcissism? Talk about if this is true, and I am saying this, if it is proven to be true, and I think at some point Jussie himself is going to do the right thing and come out and set the record straight. But if it is true, we may have nobody to blame but the way we exalt celebrity. There are role models. We have their pictures on our wall. We follow them everywhere. We follow them on Instagram. We respond to their every tweet. We watch all their movies. We make them wealthy and we make them famous. And sometimes I think the money really isn't what matters. It's the fame. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody wants to know where you had breakfast this morning. And if you post that and nobody likes it or responds to it, you're like, oh my God, I'm failing. But the way this crime was planned out, I gotta tell you, he didn't expect to get caught. He never expected, because he was Jussie Smollette of Empire fame, an activist in the gay and black community. He never thought the police would dare question anything he said. Which is why, and again, please, bear with me here, he writes a personal check to pay for his fake attack. Okay? And the people who did this attack, first of all, according to some reports, they didn't even touch him. The stuff on Jussie, he did it to himself. They just poured the bleach on him. But the funny thing is, these two guys, they hired an Uber to get them to the crime scene. Who does that? I mean, seriously, who does that? Now, everybody says how smart Jussie Smollette was. Did you really hire for $1,750 each these two people who were splitting $3,500? So for $1,750, you really thought these guys were going to do the job properly? Not get caught, and then when they did get caught, protect you? For $1,750. Really? No. Right there, that was just stupid. They hired an Uber. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to rob a liquor store. Let me hire my Uber, tell them to drive around for a couple minutes, and I'll meet them a block away from the liquor store after I'm done robbing the liquor store. Really? I mean, come on. I mean, these guys were not the sharpest tools in the shed. You know, I was talking to someone today that said, why didn't he just attack himself and then claim there were two guys? And, oh, they avoided the cameras. That would have probably been a little smarter there, Jussie. Because when you bring other people into a conspiracy, well, the weakest links are going to talk first. Now, Jussie is standing by his story. He's saying, I'm innocent. I didn't do this. But this is also the guy that went on ABC and said it was two white guys. But they were wearing masks. And then the two black guys were arrested and they said, yeah, we did it, but he told us to do it. So first he says two white guys. Again, this is always an issue for me. I'm not ashamed to be white and I'm not proud to be white, okay? I don't do this white pride bullshit, just like I don't do this feminist bullshit. You know, I've gone up against women who falsely accuse people of rape, and I will gladly go against a woman. Because I didn't choose to be a woman, and I didn't choose to be white. So I have no pride here. I'm only proud of what I do, what I've achieved, what I believe. With this and with this. My brain and my heart. That gives me pride. The stuff about me I can't change, I have no pride in because I didn't do it. My mom and dad happened to be white. They had sex. I was born. That's why I'm white. So I'm not white pride. But I will tell you this. When Roseanne came out and she did her ridiculous rant about Planet of the Apes and all that shit, I wasn't ashamed to be a white woman. I felt sorry for her. And considering that she actually didn't commit a crime, well, we're going to see now. Because Roseanne lost everything for something she wrote on Twitter. She never hurt anyone physically. She did not commit a crime. She didn't use up police resources illegally. Now, we'll see. No one was willing to forgive Roseanne. We'll see how quickly Jussie Smollette gets forgiven. If he gets to stay on his show. Which a lot of you now are saying, both black and white people are saying he should be written off the show. Fox is considering that. So we will see what happens. But again, if you're going to fire Roseanne Barr from a show that she wrote, she starred in, she produced, it was her show, because of a tweet that she apologized for and admitted to doing, then you better not so quickly forgive a Jussie Smollette if all of these allegations turn out to be true. Because that in itself, my friends, is racist. You won't forgive a white woman for a tweet, but you'll forgive a black man for faking a racial and homophobic attack on himself. That's actually a crime. So I really want us to think about that. But as for me right now today, look, you guys as always have taught me a lot. I wrote a lot of stuff in anger this week after Jussie was arrested. And I'm still angry. Because in our country today, there is true hate for no reason. I know a lot of white people that I hear spew racial epithets all the time. It makes me crazy, but it doesn't make me ashamed because I'm a white woman, because I don't think like they do. I don't talk like they do. So since I don't behave like that, then I have nothing to be upset about. I haven't said it. I'm not the one doing it. And I want to tell all my black viewers and friends, please, don't take Jussie Smollette's crime on yourself or your community or your church or your friends, the gay community. Don't take his stupidity, his narcissism, or his total hatred for himself, that he would do this to get attention, that he needs attention so badly that he's not good enough just being Jussie Smollette, who, from what I've seen over the past weeks before all these allegations, he seemed to be a pretty decent guy. Talented. Helping others. An advocate for LGBTQ and black rights. I don't see why he was so terrified that he wasn't good enough, that he had to do something like this. And for that, I actually feel sorry for him. But you good law-abiding, decent people out there who happen to share the color of his skin or share his sexual orientation, don't let his brush even come near your canvas. You're different than he is. You're better than he is. You may not be well known and famous, but you know in your hearts that you're good people, that you would never do anything like this to gain the wrong kind of attention, that you can be proud and happy of what you've achieved without always climbing for more or trying to fake it to get more. So please take this to heart. You know, I always tell you that everyone's welcome at my table. I make a joke that you have to mind your manners, and when you stab me in the back, you have to use the proper fork. Please use the salad fork. It causes less damage. That's the first one you use. But don't stab me in the back for this. Don't call me a racist. Don't call me a racist because when Susan Smith killed her babies and blamed two black men, there was no Facebook back then. But if there had been, I would have been on there and I would have been vilifying that evil, horrible whore of a woman and bitch of a mother who killed her babies and then blamed two black men for doing it. And why? Because she had a new boyfriend that didn't like kids. I would have been on here every day saying that woman should get the death penalty. Or better yet, drown her like she drowned her babies. That's a white woman, man. And I would have gone against her as vehemently as I will go against Jussie Smollette if this allegation turns out to be the truth. Because I don't see color. What I see is when somebody falsely accuses anyone of a crime and wastes resources that could be used to solve real crimes, or then puts a different light on future victims, that makes me angry. And I don't give a crap what color they are, what gender they are, who they choose to love, what sexuality they are. I don't care. Because I'm an honest person. I don't make up crap. I don't beat myself up and come on here and say, Political Paula got beat up last night, oh my God, to get likes or shares or more viewers or more subscribers. That would be idiotic and stupid. I wouldn't even think to do something like that. So please don't paint me with a brush either, because I am a white woman. Because I think those of you who have watched my show long enough, especially my subscribers on YouTube who love me for the shows I did on the Me Too movement, where I sided with the men, while the women said, oh my God, you're going against your sisters. Well, again, like I always say, you're not my sisters. I don't have any biological sisters. My mother had one child, me. So I don't have to agree with you because we're women. And I didn't. And I admitted that women lie about sexual harassment. I admitted that I don't have a problem with a guy at work telling me my hair looks nice. That's not sexual harassment. I was willing to do that. So don't call Paula Luciano a racist. I want to thank one of my viewers, Kim, for pointing out to me that I did make a comment, which I apologize for, and I changed it, that said, a black man wants a raise, is this how he goes about it? I shouldn't have said that. That was too general. So I changed it. Jussie Smollette wants a raise, this is how he goes about it. Instead of relying on his talent, he has to use the pity card. Look at me, I got attacked because I'm on this show and I'm openly gay and I'm black. That's what I meant. And thank you, Kim, for pointing that out to me, because I did change it. And you were right. Because I don't think like a racist, and I do have black friends, and my black friends know I'm not a racist, and I don't think like that. So sometimes I will write something that comes off like I'm generalizing, like I'm using that broad brush when I'm actually not. So forgive me that, because again, I wasn't raised like this. I'm naive, I guess. Just like I was when my black friend told me he couldn't walk into a bar in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where I grew up, and I didn't know there were bars in Lancaster where black people couldn't go. So please excuse that and just consider it my ignorance of not growing up as a diehard racist. So I don't think every time I talk or write, and I guess I should. So that's my mea culpa, my bad. But I have always tried to be fair. Always fair. I'm always fair as a heterosexual to my gay friends and family members, to the gay community. I respect you. I fight for your rights. I believe you are as equal to loving whoever you want and being who you are, just as I am. And when a heterosexual friend starts talking gay crap, that has nothing to do with me, because I don't talk like that. So I'm not ashamed of all heterosexuals, because some of them are bigoted assholes. They're just bigoted assholes. I'm not. And I won't take the fall for being one, just because when I see evidence, like I saw yesterday, over the weekend, over the past week, I make a judgment call. Do I believe it? Do I not believe it? I didn't believe some of the accusations on the Me Too movement, and I made that clear. This one, right now, I believe it. If it turns out that this was all a setup to smear Jussie Smollette in any way, shape, or form, if it turns out he truly was a victim, I will come right back here in front of all of you, and I will shout it to the rooftops. I was wrong, and I will apologize. Not only here, I will send Jussie Smollette a Twitter. I'll follow him on Twitter, and I will send him a tweet and say, I apologize to you, if it turns out he was truly the victim, and this was all just some kind of a setup to make him look bad. And I promise you that. So I'm putting it here. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be all over Facebook. It's here. This is going to be on Twitter too. So you have it right here in my words. If it turns out at the end of the day that Jussie Smollette was an innocent victim, I will come on here and apologize. I'll make it right. Right now, I'm going by what the police and the district attorney have said. What the two other victims, now remember, the people who supposedly attacked him are now considered victims. They're not being charged with anything, because they actually didn't do anything except follow orders. Now we will see. I'm sure Jussie Smollette, because of his celebrity, has excellent lawyers. Celebrities get good lawyers. And I really want to see this play out, which is why until we get more concrete information, I'm not going to comment on this anymore unless something breaks or I am asked to. I'm asked my opinion on something. Or, of course, to respond to comments on these shows. But again, I just wanted to come on and tell you that I don't want to ever offend anyone, especially my beautiful viewers. I don't. So if any of my comments offended you even for a minute, I do apologize. However, I'm not going to defend my First Amendment right to my opinion, to stating my opinion. And I would hope that the same kind of, let's see what happens, or, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I wish that would apply to me. Okay? I'm a white woman who has gone to bat for men accused of sexual harassment and rape of other white women. I've gone to bat for gay people not being able to buy cakes in a bakery. I've gone to bat for black teenagers who were killed. Trayvon Martin. I've gone to bat for them. Stood up for them. So don't paint me with this big broad brush either. I'm a tiny girl. Use a thin brush. Paint within the lines. Listen to how I talk. Watch my other shows before you judge me without a trial, a judge, and a jury. Have a good weekend, everybody. Be kind to one another. Love one another. Put on those colorblind glasses. We all bleed red. That's my new mantra. And we all have one of these the brain. We all have one of these. Start thinking with this. Use your heart. Use your gut. You'll know who good people are when you see them. I'm out. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Tuesday, and I promise it's not going to be about Jussie Smollette, because I think he's gotten enough attention for now. And I'm out.